Like nobody wants to be seen. You can even see it in their homes because people just don't want to be judged because they want to have that freedom to judge everyone freely. So they know that, they're going to be caught with the same. So it's like we hide, we judge from our hiding spaces. You know what I mean? Hey,
Hey,
I'm
and
Zainab,
I'm Mia,
and welcome to another episode of Sprinkles and Spice.
and we are now in a long distance relationship.
We are, as you can see, we are not in our usual. Well, Mia's not in the studio with me.
Is this not the
Mia's in her
studio?
bedroom
I
in Paris.
I am in my bedroom, and you can kind of see a baby photo of me. It's evidence that this is my bedroom.
And her bedroom is very Sprinkles and Spice coded.
Is I changed the bed sheets this morning to like match the background that you would have.
She did some art direction. So, this episode is obviously going to be different. We missed last week. We were trying to figure out how we're going to do this, obviously, with Mia being in Paris. If you guys follow Mia on the socials,
If you follow me,
she's
then you
moved.
probably realize that I've moved back to Paris,
She's a Parisian girl now.
back where I belong, in the land of croissants.
Okay. Okay,
Listen,
ma'am.
listen,
No. No.
listen. I gave up good bread and croissants, okay? Do you know how hard it
I'm
is?
sorry, you can keep your bread and your croissants. I will take our machbous. I will take our khubz tannour. I will take
Feel
everything.
free to come with a casserole.
A casserole.
A casserole.
Not white.
A matchbous casserole. I'm sorry, all of these dishes are casseroles. I'm sorry to break it to you, Queen. They're all casseroles.
Casserole. I can't believe you said casserole. Who are you? I've never heard you say casserole in our entire friendship.
Please,
She
for
moves to
months, start
Paris.
saying casserole.
Okay, anyways, there are no casseroles here
Yet.
yet. But anyways, so we have been trying to figure out how to film. So throughout the next month, we're gonna do some different things. It's trial and error, and
Yeah.
you're coming with us on this journey.
Yeah. No, next week, hopefully, I'll be recording with a different, still in this bedroom, but like with more equipment so that the sound and the video quality gets better.
Mia's gonna turn her bedroom into a studio.
I literally am. I'll sleep on the floor.
Let's kind of just update everyone for those who don't follow us on our personal. Let's update everyone. So you moved a month ago, right?
Yes.
Has it
Yeah.
been a month?
It's been a month, I
And
think. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Anyways,
you.
let's not talk about yeah, and I had multiple emotional breakdowns.
Not because I was leaving, though, because I only decided I would move back 48 hours before we left.
No, but also because you decided to leave. And I recently started a new job.
Woo!
Honestly, the biggest update, other than the job, the biggest update of my life right now is the fact that I changed my nail shape.
Okay,
So
that's crazy. Like, that's crazy.
you know this.
Yeah, because you've always been a pointy queen. Like,
I've
she's
always been a
almond.
round or almond or like stiletto if I'm in a mood. But
I didn't meet
now,
you in your round era. I knew you in your stiletto and your almond era.
yeah,
So show us
I
the
have my
nails.
moments where I like a round. So now I'm doing a square moment. For those of you watching, I am doing a square red moment, which is growing on me. At first, I was like, but I'm kind of living for it now.
This is such a mob wife set that you have on right now.
I know, yeah. I got Miriam's approval last night.
Oh my god, she's also one of the queens of nails.
She is the queen of nails. So at first I was like, I don't know, and then I was like, oh, it's kind of growing on me, and then I was having my doubts again, and then Miriam to the rescue, and I was like, babe, what do you think? She was like, we're living, we love, and I was like, okay, we're good, we're good. So yeah, that's the biggest update that I have. I had to move to another continent.
Okay, but like it's not that exciting. This is literally where I grew up, so like I moved back home technically. Come on now.
So let's get into the emotional part of the move. How's it been?
And honestly, I hate saying that because I feel like it's gonna upset everyone, like in Kuwait. Because in the last year, I've spent a huge amount of time with my friends. Like I feel like Kuwait became a real second home to me because of you guys. But I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, being somewhere where, because for me the biggest struggle in Kuwait that is I couldn't walk. And for my mental health, that's like detrimental. And I didn't know until I couldn't walk that I was like, oh my god, wait, I need to think because I cannot think in my childhood home. It's
She's a
it's just not
city
the thinking
girl.
spot. No, but some people think in the shower. Some people think in bed. I think as I walk. I have to walk aimlessly.
I mean, didn't you have your hot girl walks like every day?
I did, but walking in a mall or walking in first of all, walking in Shahid, you
Yeah,
see everyone on earth. You're two steps in. You're
true.
oh my god, hi, oh my god. Like you're not really like. It's nice to be in a big city where you're like, okay, I can just walk aimlessly, and there's so many dogs that I can say hi to on my way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
So
I
it's the
miss my
walking.
friends.
The only thing that you missed was walking in
No, I
Paris.
missed I missed my childhood friends. I missed my family so much. I feel like my family's never gonna let me go anywhere now. They're like, you left us
Yeah.
for a whole year, so you're never leaving.
I mean, I get it. Look, because your family is mostly in Paris,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. So I understand. I mean, I would argue we're also your family,
you are.
but
You're my everyone. In my DMs thinks you're my sister. By the way, everyone's
oh,
like, oh my god,
everyone, when we
we love your sister and yours podcast. I'm like, we don't even have the same last name, and you follow both of us. What are you saying, my sister?
remember when we used to go out together and everybody thinks that we were sisters? It's
It's
crazy.
like the biggest compliment. Like, thank you. She is my sister.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Are we done with updates? Are there any more updates?
Oh, I went to Bryson Tiller's concert. Oh my god, bro! I didn't. I left it out just to tell you. I didn't post anything on my story.
What?
Yeah, I forgot. Oh my god.
I'm Oh wait, I need a moment to process this.
Wait, you guys
You
have
went
to
to Bryson
understand.
Tiller?
No, you guys have to understand. Zainab and I have not been speaking on purpose so that we can catch up. So like, I went to the concert and I went to post it on my story. And I was like,
And
wait,
you
wait,
know how much I love Bryson Tiller.
I know.
You know I'm such a No, please tell me, did he sing Don't?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah,
And
I'm
we
gonna
all and
cry.
everyone pulled out their phone and we were all singing at the same time. It was at Bataclan, which is quite a small place. It's like
At what?
Bataclan. Bataclan.
Bataclan? Bataclan?
No, I want to tell you on the pod. I want to see your reaction.
Well, you got the reaction. Well, you're going to send me pictures after
Yeah.
this episode. I need all the pictures, all the videos. Please tell me you recorded don'ts for me.
Yeah, I think I did. And if I don't,
Okay.
if I don't have the full thing, I have like one of my cousins who like was recording. He's so tall. He was sitting next to me, and we were all sitting on chairs. And he was horizontally recording. He was doing a thing. I was like, he's the cameraman. He is the cameraman.
It's so nice when you have a tall person in your
I
group.
know.
Yeah.
Because I was not able to balance on that chair very well. It was the ones that go back, so it's not stable.
Oh, it was seated?
Yeah, it was seated. We had seats because we decided we wanted to sit
Okay.
because we didn't want to be
Yeah.
mushed into the crowd. So the seats go back, so I was struggling to stand straight. So the videos are all very like
You're struggling.
shaky. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you have
Major
concealed
life
from me for this long?
updates. Nothing. I mean, everything else I've just been hanging out with my
Yeah.
friends.
We're starting this new segment and we're calling it, what did we decide to call it? Honestly, it's the title is a work in progress. It's a what do they call it? Like a temporary title?
Okay, yeah. So we're choosing we're gonna be discussing pop culture moments, but we want to call it tea time. Like it's tea time.
Okay. It's tea time. All right, so we're gonna start. Maybe we're doing this once a month, depending how you guys like it. We are gonna, talk about some pop culture moments that honestly piqued our interest because Lord knows me and Mia love our pop culture.
Can't get enough of people's lives.
Can't get enough. All right, I think I think the first one we should start with is Beyonce's new album,
Hell
because
yeah.
we haven't recorded an episode in, oh my God, we haven't recorded an episode since Ramadan.
Mm.
Oh my God. Yeah, so during that time and now Beyonce's album came out. How are we feeling about the album? Have you listened to it?
I listened to it the day it came out. I was getting ready to go out with my friends. And it was like a girl hang. Like, you know what? We're all doing our makeup, and some of the girlies were getting braids and everything. That album played like 4 times looped.
Really?
Yeah. We loved it.
I listened to it one time. I listened to it the same day that it came out with our friend Abdullah.
Mm.
And for me, because I remember we were just sitting and actually like intently listening to the songs,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like the album started from Bodyguard. Like once Bodyguard played, and then after that, I was able to get into it. And then I've listened to it a few times. I do have favorites. It's not Renaissance, honestly. Renaissance, I listened to it from cover to cover, like over and over and over and over again without skipping any songs. But Cowboy Carter, I don't know. There are a few songs that I liked. I love that she's kind of reclaiming the genre, even though like she keeps
Yes.
saying like genres are, like she keeps, what do they call them? Like the interludes. She talks about like how genres are so like constricting, and you know
Mm-mm-mm.
what I mean? Like basically saying that this is not a country album. But I loved it. My favorite song right now off the album is Two Hands to Heaven, and I can't stop listening to it and crying. I don't know why. It's a tearjerker.
We're not on the same vibe in that album at all. My favorite song is Jolene.
Oh my God. Okay, speaking of Jolene, I love Jolene. I love the lyric switch up. Like when I heard,
Yes!
because you know, when it starts, it's like, okay, it's a different beat. You're like, okay, it's cute. And then she says Jolene, Jolene, and you're like, you're just sitting there wondering, you're like, is she going to sing the Dolly Parton
Yeah,
lyrics?
yeah, yeah.
And then when she did the switch up, I started screaming. But the only thing that I found hilarious was there's this part where she says, I can easily understand how you're attracted to my man.
Yeah.
And then there's this meme going around the internet where they have that lyric and then this really bad picture of Jay-Z. Like, okay, I don't think Jay-Z is necessarily like the most attractive person.
But I understand. She's his wife, so she finds him attractive. She's attracted. Are we attract? Or
Um,
is everyone attracted to Jay Z? No, but also I
I
can
think
see how some girls are attracted to Jay Z because he has like
his
that
money.
big manly vibe, like
Mm,
boss, silent
it's that,
confidence.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess he's also Sagittarius, so maybe it's that.
So he's definitely an icon.
Um, But I found that hilarious. Like that meme was so funny where they were like really like you can easily understand. But yeah, I enjoyed the song. There was one part that I didn't necessarily like where I was like, okay, maybe you could have done without that line where she was like, there's 1,000 girls in every room who act as desperate as you do. Did not appreciate that one. No.
Honestly, I loved every moment of it. I have no complaints. I'm like,
Mia's like, no complaints.
me, Beyonce. We see eye to eye in that song.
All right. Well, let's talk about another viral Beyonce moment that's more recent. Last week, Beyonce put out a video of her using her hair products,
Yeah.
Sacred, and the internet went crazy for it. What did you think of the video?
I feel like, I mean, we spoke about that earlier and you hit the nail on the head because you were like, she said that basically well, you said that basically it felt like she was disconnected from her product, and like that
Mm-hmm.
video did kind of shut everyone up. I think at the end of the day, no matter what product she would have put out, people would have found something to say. But I think, I mean, this is going to sound controversial. I'm tired of celebrity skincare and makeup brands. Like,
Yeah.
I think the market is saturated. I'm not saying I'm here for celebrity hair care brands, but I think Beyonce coming out with a hair care brand, like, I'm gonna try anything she tells me to try, or anything she
I
tells
know.
me. Like it's
Yeah.
Beyonce.
I mean, honestly, because she had a lot of people saying that her hair, it's not her real hair, and that she wears a lot of wigs and all of that. So, like, it damages her hair. So, I think she wanted to, like, just debunk all of those, like,
Yeah.
myths and rumors and stuff like that. But my favorite part was the voiceover. I want Beyonce to read a bedtime story for me. I want Beyonce ASMR. Like, there's something so calming about her voice when she speaks, where it's like, I watched that video over and over and over again just for that voiceover. She's like, and I love the smell of this, and then I did the rice water bath for this, and then, and
No,
I'm just
Zainab,
like,
Zainab, you're on something. You're on. No, 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 wait. Forget ASMR. Forget bedtime stories. You know how like some apps you wake up and they're like, "Good morning," like light breathing. No, no. I actually wanted to like Headspace, but like Beyonce space.
hey, Beyonce speaks.
ten
Oh my
minute
God, that could be
meditation with
another idea.
Beyonce.
Oh my God, Beyonce, you could take that idea. You're welcome.
We know you're part of the SNS fam, Beyonce. We know you want to listen to the pod every week. So go ahead, Queen.
I mean, if you guys haven't seen our last meme, which is the work of art of Mia, Mia is the meme queen.
If you've ever wondered who comes up with these fabulous memes, it's yours truly. Once Zainab taught me how to use Canva, I was unstoppable.
I know. I remember that day when you discovered Canva. I think you sent me 10 memes
I
in the
was
same
born
day.
again. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, I think I've created a monster.
Like, I still don't know how to use Canva for anything really other than memes.
Yeah.
But it's
All
fine.
right, let's get into the next one. What's our next
Jojo
pop
Siwa
culture moment?
and her bangers era. She literally is like, yeah, like, this is my Miley moment.
Please. No, it's not even close. Lord, Lord, please. Look, she's still a child. How old is Jojo Siwa? Is she like 20?
I think she's like,
19?
I don't think she is 20. Can you Google it?
I don't know. Hold on. Let's
She's
Google
young,
how
but
old
okay.
Jojo
Look,
Siwa is.
I'm gonna tell you something. I actually feel for Jojo Siwa because she
She's
comes.
20.
Okay, yeah, she's a child. Like, I feel for her because she comes from like dance moms and that universe, and I think she was like worshipped by kids. So she grew up thinking she's amazing, and everyone's telling her like, "You're the best." No, no, no. Like, give
Yeah.
like just let's let her have her moment. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if I would be more of like condoning let her have her moment. It is a bit concerning. I don't appreciate obviously like when adults are joining the conversation and they're like, making fun of or attacking this literal 20-year-old who we all know grew up in the industry.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And like you said, like she had a lot of kids worship her at a very young age and she was on Dance Moms, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then she had her own like spin-off and stuff like that. So that alone, like I know it's a very toxic environment to grow up in. So I feel like you become that environment as well.
Yeah.
The cringiest thing for me though, like I feel so bad for her because like she thought that this single was really gonna be like Miley's wrecking ball. Like, you know what I mean? And then the fact that she was like, nobody's done this before. Nobody from my generation's done this before.
Yeah. So
She
that's
looked deranged.
it's
Sorry.
like it's I get it because it's like slightly like tone deaf. Like, babe, you're not creating anything new, not really, and that's okay.
Nothing.
No
And
one
then
can create anything new anymore. Like every
literally,
every
and then
song
she's like,
samples
no, but
something else.
nobody's done it. Nobody's done it. Just me. Like I'm the only one from our generation to do it. And then continues to list like celebrities who've done it before. Like, oh, okay, yeah, nobody broke out from being a child star to an adult. Nobody's done that before. No. And at least if you're gonna like hype it up so much and you're gonna say, oh my God, nobody's done this before, like make it so shocking and so good that nobody can say anything.
I think she thought she was doing something very different, and because she thought that, she sort of, I don't say gaslit, but like low key, like, like, it's so different, and then you see and you're like, really? Is that different? Am I crazy? Like, you start to believe that you're like wrong.
Who, you or the viewer or her?
No, the viewer, because you're like, but it's nothing crazy though, and you're acting like it is. So you're like, am I missing something? I definitely like.
No,
I was
I don't think that happened to anyone, Mia. Everybody was like, what the hell?
no. I for a moment I was definitely like, am I missing something here? Am I jaded? Have we seen?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I had that moment. Yeah, I had that moment where I was like, okay, where's the shock value? What is the shocker?
Yeah, that's why all this. Then that's why all of us also have been watching her interviews, because we're like, make it make sense, Queen.
Yeah. It's like we're waiting for that moment. Like we're waiting for your Miley moment. It's not happening. So you just literally just talked a big talk and gave us nothing.
The most shocking part to me was the cap with the little bangle fringe thingy, like the sequin fringes on the cap. That was the most shocking thing so far.
All right, well, moving on from JoJo, let's get into a crazy one.
Diddy!
Diddy. Diddy. I saw an update today. I think he's on the run now. I think he ran away to some island. I don't know.
Diddy on the run tour.
Hold that thought because I stumbled upon this video today. I think was it Ice Cube? Is it Ice Cube?
Yeah.
I think so. And he was talking. Everybody's like now talking shit about Diddy, and he is saying he's predicting that Jay-Z is next. He's like Jay-Z is gonna be next in the line of scrutiny, and once the public is done with Diddy, they're coming for Jay-Z because they've both allegedly been up to some shady business. But I think Jay-Z is smarter than Diddy. Because Diddy has had like years of getting away with shit. But everybody, it's like word on the street. The streets are talking. The whispers on the streets.
No, but the girl who invited me to the Bryson Tiller concert, so me and my friend got invited, so we just were guests, we're her plus ones. She grew up between like New York and like Senegal and whatever, and she's like a model. And she has gotten invited to so many Diddy parties in her day. And she told me, she's like, Mia, this has been common knowledge in the scene for a decade. She's like, ever since I started, like, she's like, everyone's known that Diddy was doing madness. And I'm like,
yeah,
what? Like, I feel like it's almost like an R. Kelly situation where everyone talks about it.
I didn't know. Yeah.
I knew. I mean, we all saw Cassie, right?
I mean, that's the thing. Cassie was kind of the Pandora's box for the Diddy situation. But even before Cassie, everybody knew that Diddy was doing some shady shit on the download. Like everybody was talking about it allegedly. You know what I mean? That, you know, you don't fuck with Diddy because he's got some people in high places. He's got the connects. He's got the money. His money's long. But it's the things that have come out are insane. And then like the fact that like we have Usher's being dragged into it, obviously, for obvious reasons. And then Justin Bieber as well. I saw a video of him, of Diddy, talking about how he had guardianship of Usher when Usher was 14. And then he was like, yeah, so now, and he was with Justin Bieber, and Justin Bieber was a kid. And it was so uncomfortable. And he was like, yeah, so now I have Justin Bieber with me for like 3 days. And like Justin's like just laughing like nervously and uncomfortably.
How did it start?
So basically, like I said, like Cassie was Pandora's box. And then his producer came out and he sued him. And there was like a 48-page mandate or something. And that's where it all started to unravel. And he was talking about like some, you know, SA allegations, some like trafficking, insane stuff. He said that Diddy had drugged him and SA'd him and forced him to like partake in weird things. But like the way it was unraveling, it was just so disturbing where it's like, you know, when you see Diddy and how he acts, you're like, I believe it.
Yeah, I think he
definitely
has like that complex, like God complex about him.
Oh my God, Aubrey O'Day has entered the chat.
Really?
Yeah, because her band, what were they called? Damaged. What's her name? What was their name? Are you okay? You're blanking so much today.
First of all, I had a fever last night. I'm sick.
I'm sick. What is their band name? Hold on.
I have so many different meds in me and vitamins. Thank your lucky stars, Queen.
Okay, but I think we need to make it a bit more exciting.
Yeah. No, but I
Yeah.
don't know
What is
Aubrey
the?
O'Day's. Tara, the hip hop world is your area of expertise.
It's not hip hop. Danity Kane. You don't know
Danny,
Danity Kane?
I know Danity Kane, but I know one song. But I was not listening to Danity Kane. They're not from my.
Okay. Anyways, so let's just return to what we were
Okay, let's go
saying. I was
back.
saying, yeah. So Aubrey O'Day has entered the chat, and so because Danity Kane, were they from making the band? I think, or did he just discover Danity Kane? But basically, she was saying that he tried to buy her silence in exchange for rights. What do they call them? The release rights or reselling rights or something like that. Can you
Mm.
imagine?
Yeah, I can't
Isn't that
imagine.
crazy?
I
And
can't
then
imagine.
she said a lot of stuff about like also like what Diddy was doing and you know the abuse and stuff like that. But anyways,
I
enough about
wonder
Diddy.
where Scooter Braun comes into all of this because he was Justin's manager. Remember? And they were like
Yeah.
this, like they were close. I would. I'm so sorry. Like, there's no way you had access to Justin Bieber. There's no way Usher had that access to Justin Bieber because he had Justin under his wing, and like what Scooter was never involved in anything. Scooter knew nothing. Like, I actually feel like I need to know. There's tea there. I need to know
Say
what the tea is.
allegedly. Say
Allegedly,
allegedly so they don't
of
cover
course, allegedly. Like, we know nothing. This is all
allegedly.
speculation. Allegedly,
What do we know? We don't know
nothing.
anything about this. No, we're just two girls on the internet.
We're
All
not
right.
even in America. Okay, I want to talk about the most important person on the internet right now, Jennifer from the block, Lopez.
I don't know if she. I think she's the most disliked person right now.
Jennifer.
Jennifer from the block. Jennifer. Jennifer.
Jennifer from the block, why? Jennifer cannot stop claiming the Bronx enough. Did you see the people from the Bronx being like, girl, we don't claim you like that?
We don't know her. We don't. I don't know her.
You don't know
Yeah,
them. They're
but
so hard. Some guy, I think it went viral. There's a TikTok video of this guy literally calling her Jennifer from the block Lopez, and I don't know who started, but all I know is she's Jennifer from the block Lopez from now on.
she can't stop talking about the block. But
And then, did you see
I
the video
think
of her giving a tour? Was it a Vogue video? She said, I still live here. And this guy's like, who are
yeah.
you? She's
Oh
like,
my god,
Jennifer, Jennifer.
it
He's
was
like,
part of
Jennifer who?
her. Jennifer from the block. No, it was part of her documentary. So you know how she did the. Oh my god, it's her album. Obviously, is such a flop right now, and everyone's talking about how it's really, like, really bad. And then she did the movie. This is me now. This is me now, not yesterday,
No.
not tomorrow. Now,
Wait, do you remember how I tried to see it with you? And I could not?
I look. Back to me being a hate watcher. Mia could not. So I watched it by myself and I thought it was so funny. Not in the way that it was intended to be funny, but like I found it so hilarious. Like it was so bad, it was entertaining. And so I try to get Mia to watch it and I literally play it and Mia's like, no, I can't. And I'm like, I literally like, if I could, I would have held your head in front of that screen.
No, girl, honestly, I think I got through 10 minutes and the whole 10 minutes, I was like, is she, what? No! Are we breaking to another
Mia
song?
was like, what is she doing?
I can appreciate the talent she has moving. Okay, like she
It took you a minute to
dances.
say the talent.
I can listen. I love Jennifer Lopez. Okay, but my
I love
Jennifer
her too.
Lopez is
Don't
an
get me wrong.
actress. But I want her in a rom com. I want her in Made in Manhattan. I want her in Monster
Yeah.
in Law. I don't want whatever this is. Whatever this is, I don't want it. Wrap it up. Wrap
I
it up.
think, yeah, I think she, she's trying to do stuff that she did 20 years ago to show people that, look, I still got it, which, yeah, you still got it, but I think there's a better way to do it. And I hate saying this because I don't believe like, oh, act your age, you know what I mean? But this is not relevant to where you are right now in life. I
It's
don't
not
think Jennifer is
relatable to her demographic.
not at all.
Like, you have to think about it. Her demographic is not 20-year-olds. Like, 20-year-olds, yeah, we all love Jennifer Lopez, okay? Everyone loves her. Like, she's cute. Like, she's whatever. But the people that grew up with you, your cult fans, they're 40. They're in their mid to late 30s. Like, some of them are in their 50s. Why are you not making things that they'll feel connected to? Why are you
I mean, she
making...
tried to tell her story with Ben Affleck. That was the whole gist of it.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
even
it
Ben
was
is like
her love story.
the greatest story never told.
No, did you see? Okay,
Ben.
did you see
Did you see
the?
Ben? Ben is so
He
done
didn't
with
show
it.
his face. He never showed his face in that movie. My favorite part though was the I don't know how she got that star-studded scene with the zodiac signs
Well,
and
she
like she
is
had
Jennifer
every
from the
celebrity.
Block Lopez, so people are gonna show up.
They did say that I think she wanted was it Taylor Swift or someone and they turned her down or something. I don't know. But I mean honestly it was a good show up for that scene. I think that might have got her movie more views than
Well, that was
it
the
would have
only
gotten.
scene that was worth watching, I believe. I wouldn't
It
know
really
because I couldn't
was.
sit through it.
But did you see the documentary that came with it? So she did a documentary, and so Ben Affleck was in the documentary. The documentary was about, I think, making the movie,
No,
and
the
then
documentary was the greatest love story never told, which now you've told
no,
us.
no, the documentary was "This Is Me Now." I mean, sorry, the documentary was about "This Is Me Now." "This Is Me Now" was the greatest love story never told.
Oh, okay, okay. This is
Okay,
confusing for everyone now. Jennifer from the Block
no,
Lopez, do better.
so you have "This Is Me Now,"
Hmm.
and then she did a documentary
Hmm.
about the making of "This Is Me Now."
Which one is the greatest love? Listen. All I liked was Ben Affleck not being interested. Whatever I
She
saw
cannot get over it.
of Ben Affleck being like, "Why are we doing this again?" is the best. Is to me the most relatable part of all this.
That was the documentary where she was showing him the script
Hmm.
and he was giving her notes on the script and she wouldn't take them. This is Ben Affleck. We're talking about this award-winning director.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you will not take notes on your script from him. And he was confused too. I think he was confused. But my
Do you
favorite
know
was
why?
that part where
Do
she
you
was
know why
sitting,
she
the
doesn't want
most
to take notes on
viral
him?
clip.
Do you know why she doesn't want to take notes from him though, Zainab? Because he has a huge
Why?
red dragon tattoo on his back. So
Anyways, so there was this scene from the documentary that's going viral. It's the funniest scene ever, where she's I'm sure everyone's seen it, where she's sitting after a workout with her hair, and then she was like, "I used to run down the streets like this down the block, 14-year-old, big hair, big dreams, none." And then so a guy who worked on that set, first of all, said that it took her 12 takes to do that. Apparently
I
she
saw.
had done 12 takes for that and he was like, "Can you guess which take that was?" It was the 12th take. The scene that made it. And he's like, "Who are you lying to, Jennifer?" I think she said when she was 15 or 16. He was like, "You were already on the screen. You are not on the block." Like, what are you saying,
What
Mel?
block were you in? No, please, what block? No, 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 no. What block were you in, sister? Listen, I love her, but this is giving. Remember when she was like, "Oh, I look like this because of olive oil"? Remember when she tried to tell us olive oil is the reason she looked this good?
I don't remember that.
I do. This is giving the olive oil gate.
Olive oil gate. I love that.
All right,
All right. Well,
let's just
do you have anything more to say about Jennifer from the block?
Lopez.
Lopez.
No, no, that was it. Love you,
All
J
right.
Lo.
Love you. Do better.
Do better.
Anyways, let's move on to our favorite moment of the year. The time of year that everybody waits for just to wear flower crowns and run around
In cowboy
lace
boots and
and cowboy boots.
pee in questionable porta potties.
Oh God, Coachella.
Woo!
Oh my God, Coachella.
The white girl Hunger Games.
The white girl. I honestly I would have loved to go to Coachella, like cause now I don't know if I could do it. Like the only time I've been to Coachella was 2015, and I was what? That was 7 years ago. So I was 29, 30. I think I hadn't turned 30. I was 29, and I thought, no wait, I was younger than that. Because I remember I met a 30-year-old guy there, and I was like, ooh, he's older. Anyways, So now I'm like, I don't know. Am I too old for Coachella? If I thought at the time a 30-year-old man was old at 37, would I be out of place? Did you see Jennifer Hudson didn't go and people were like, it's like if the president didn't go to the White House.
What? Is she that important to
Not
Coachella?
Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer, oh my God, not Jennifer Hudson. Uh, what's her name?
Vanessa
High
Hudgens?
School Musical. Vanessa
Oh
Hudgens.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know
Oh
where
my
I
god.
got
No,
Jennifer
no, no. I was
Hudson.
like Jennifer Hudson's important in the Coachella. No, no. Listen,
No,
Vanessa
Vanessa
Hudgens
Hudgens.
is the reason, and I will die on that hill. Is the reason Coachella is relevant. Her outfits, like, I'm so sorry, not you disagreeing. Her outfits are the
I
only
didn't say
Coachella
anything.
outfits that matter. She is the first person I feel like that started being super crazy and eccentric. Because I feel like people in Coachella were just like
Yeah.
shorts, like whatever t-shirts, like a band tee. It was cool, but it wasn't like she was going hardcore. She went to Urban
Yeah.
Outfitters and the thrift shop, and she was throwing on every single item she had on, and like
Yeah.
fringe
I mean,
boots.
I would love to see reports of Urban Outfitters sales around March and
Mm,
April.
mm.
I would love to see Urban Outfitters, and I feel like Anthropologie. If you have more money, you'd go to
If
Anthropologie.
you're like slightly older and like you're a little more like classic, yeah, you're definitely taking the anthropology route. But for the majority of the crowd there, like the college kids, everyone is going to Urban Outfitters. Like, and you see as well like the Revolve Fest, because Revolve Fest
Yeah.
and Coachella become synonymous. So all the other influencers in their little Revolve outfits, and it's just like it's like the internet throwing up in a large valley. To me, that's what Coachella. It is. It's internet
Yeah.
vomit, but it's
It
amazing,
is.
and I would die to be there.
Yeah. Who was your favorite?
I'm gonna be super basic, and I'm gonna say I really loved Billy and Lana.
Okay.
Like that
That
performance
was
to
cute.
me
Yeah.
was just so beautiful. And also, I always said
Yeah.
Lana walked so Billy could run. So seeing them come to, and I feel like that's everyone's opinion. Like,
Really?
because I think Lana was
Because
before her time.
look, I still don't get Lana. Like when she first came out, I remember video games. I was like, ooh, okay. I fucked with her for a bit, but then she lost me somehow. I don't know. Lana's not for me, but I love that Lana and Billy moment. I just didn't get the next weekend when she brought Camila. Was it
Cabello.
Camila?
Yeah,
It was Camila Cabello, yeah.
yeah.
That I felt like was so out of place for her set list.
And I
Yeah.
don't like the blonde hair. Also, I think that
Yeah.
is not helping.
The long blonde hair just threw me off. I was like, "What is that, Camilla?" Like, it does not look for like her, and it just was so out of place, like with Lana's set. But the ones that stood out for me were obviously, no doubt, I would
Oh
have
my god.
paid, like, I would have sold my soul to see that. And then I loved Tyler the Creator. And
Mm.
then I think as an Arab, one of the best moments, and I think was the proudest moments, was Saint
Saint
Laurent.
Laurent.
Seeing him on that stage. Oh my God. I wish I kind of missed they do a live broadcast of it, right?
Yeah.
I missed it. I was so bummed, but I saw clips here and there and I was like, oof, I wish I knew he was there. I would have broadcasted that, but like, or I would have watched it live. But I think these were my top three, I want to say.
Mm. Definitely Saint Laurent hit home. Saint Laurent was so good.
Yeah,
Like the
it was
and
so good.
the when he's like, oh, some lady was like, you can't wave this flag around here, and he was like, lady, you have no idea what I'm about to do on that stage, and I was like, yes, Saint Laurent, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have paid
Yeah, it
money
was.
to sing "I'm Just a Girl" back at Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, but she asked the girls to shut up and just
I
the
saw,
guys to sing
I
it.
saw.
Yeah. And they're like, nobody can do it except for Gwen Stefani. And she was like, girls, I need you to be quiet and I need just the guys to sing
But
it.
then did you
And she
hear
made a bunch of guys.
when the guys did it? It was like, I'm just a girl. But when the girls only did it, that screen was
Yeah,
shaking. Like it
it
was
was.
crazy.
Another amazing pop moment that we saw recently was the Spice Girls reunion at Victoria's 40th, was it? No, 50th.
50th birthday.
50th birthday.
Oh, to be David Beckham standing right in front of them, holding his phone as they're saying, "Stop right now. Thank you very much." I'm like, oh my God, I want to be David Beckham. I've never
I
wanted
just,
to be a man in my life. Other than in that moment, I was like, I want to be David Beckham standing in front of the Spice Girls. What?
I get
All of
it.
them.
I get it. And I think everyone can relate to that. All of them, literally.
Looking
Insane.
amazing, dressed to the nines, singing.
Hmm.
Victoria Beckham singing a Spice Girls song at 50. We never thought we'd see the day.
You know, I was talking about this the other day. I think when we were younger, I don't think we understood Victoria so much, like her satire, like her personality so much. And then when I recently was watching scenes from the movie and I saw Victoria's scenes and I was like, this is pure comedy. She is so talented
Did you
and
see?
underrated.
Did you see the Ali G interview?
Oh, I remember that. That was a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
interview, you can see how she breaks in and out of character. Like, I swear to God, everything she does is a bit. There's like a reality TV show of her going to America, and this is in her era of like when she had the huge pink ostrich Birkin and the bleach blonde bob. Like, that was that era of her in America.
Yeah.
You see what she says. It is the funniest thing. Like, she'll be like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna smile. So everyone thinks I'm a bitch. Nah, nah, nah." Like, she goes to DMV to take her
Yeah.
picture. She's like, "Can you do that again?" Like, she's so funny. Everything she does is a bit. It's so
I
good.
know. I know. It's really good. All right. And then the last pop culture moment. This is a long one. We're not going to get into a lot of details of this, but the rap world is feuding. It's a mess. Everybody is out to get Drake.
They're in cahoots. They're in
They're
cahoots.
in, and it's crazy because last week I think Kanye entered the feud, and The Weeknd also entered the feud. So it all started basically with J. Cole and Drake. They did first person shooter mode when they announced their tour. I mean, everybody who knows me knows I'm a huge J. Cole fan, but I have not been happy with J. Cole the past few months. But anyways, so there's a verse where J. Cole says it's the big three, Drake, K. Dot, and me. Something along those lines. So basically, he's saying that Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake are in their own caliber in the league of their own, and they're the big three. And then Kendrick, I don't know, did you hear that the diss track that Kendrick came out with?
No.
So Kendrick jumps on Future and Metro Boomin did a album collab,
Metro.
and Kendrick, yeah, and so Kendrick jumps on one of those tracks, and then he says "fuck the big three." And he's like, basically, he's like, there's no big three. It's just me. And then I think he compares, I don't know, but like shots were fired. The internet went crazy. I was watching TikToks of people like breaking down bar by bar and like all the insane like wordplay that he did and stuff like that. So he drags them like to shreds. And so J. Cole rebuttals. He was gonna, so he's been teasing his album Might Delete Later. And then he drops it. I think it was like a week after or something like that. It was so sudden. And then on the album, he had a track called 7 Minute Drill where it was like a rebuttal. And that was so mid. It was as a diss track, it was so bad. It was so out of character for J. Cole. Like it was so weak. And I tried so hard to like it, but it was so bad. But what made it worse was that he apologizes for it and then deletes it off of streaming services.
Wait, what?
Imagine.
No, you can't fool
Imagine. It
me.
was, I was like, honestly, like, J. Cole, طاح من عيني. Like, you're not who like we fell in love with. You know what I mean? This is so out of character for you. Like, what are you doing? You're above all of this. You are above, responding with a diss track in the first place. And then let alone, like, I think he's just been so into his like zen and, just being like in his spiritual awakening and like, growth and all of that, that he couldn't even do a good diss track, give us a good diss track.
I
But then
feel
the fact that you had to apologize for it, that's so embarrassing.
I feel like it's just so childish. Like if you're gonna do something, you have to stand by it. You look crazy deleting your own fucking music. You
Yeah.
look
I
crazy.
mean, look, I did appreciate like that he was man enough to apologize for it. But like why do it in the first place? And it was such a bad diss track. It was so bad. Even when I was listening to it, I'm like, no, this is not it. But basically, everybody obviously starts making fun of J. Cole, like, oh, careful, he's gonna make a diss track and then apologize and delete it. Like, no, 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 whatever. And then we had The Weeknd entering the feud, and I think he also did a track with Future and Metro, and then
Metro.
Kanye came in. Metro. Mia's just gonna say Metro every time.
Every
But
time.
yeah, so basically the rap world is in shambles.
I just want to say
And
the only interesting thing is Kanye entering because he has no business being there. Like,
ship people's orders, ship people's
yeah,
Yeezy orders. That's what you should be worrying about,
take care of the
Kanye.
brand, take care of your wife, co-parent your kids. Every time I see a picture of Bianca, I'm like, I knew you're cool, B. Good luck. Good luck dealing with that man.
All right, so I think that's enough of pop culture moments. I think it's time to get into the topic of the day. We are gonna probably, it's gonna be a short episode,
Mm.
but we're gonna get into the topic. Mia, do you want to tell us what the topic is?
We can talk about the comment section. No, we want to. No, we're going to discuss our
But
comment section.
actually,
We're going to discuss
yeah.
our comment section because we're not going to leave all these comments, to go unnoticed. But also, we're going to
Hmm.
talk sort of about our sentiments. I also think we need to touch on the story of the name Sprinkles and Spice, and I think touch on our personal lives and a bit more about how we view who we are as Arab girls.
Yeah. So basically, our last episode went pretty viral, and it reached a new audience. And I've spoken about this on my stories and social media. I had moments where I woke up and I chose violence, and I started like responding to the comments. But basically, we reached a new audience that doesn't necessarily connect with Sprinkles and Spice, and they've been leaving some not so nice comments. But we've also gotten a lot of new fans, which has been great. But we did want to address the most common comment that we get. We get this all the time. And I think it frustrates us, but I think it's also important for us to kind of address it. But one of the most comments we get is, you guys need to speak Arabic. You're Arabs. Why aren't you speaking Arabic? You're embarrassing. Oh, you're whitewashed. You're so cringy because you're not speaking in Arabic and stuff like that.
I think for starters, the term whitewashed, I think a new crowd of people have discovered the word, but they're misusing it.
Mm.
Whitewashed is not speaking in English. That's not what whitewashed is. So a lot of people are saying speak in Arabic, speak in Arabic. Why do you speak in Arabic? And it's on all platforms. It's on YouTube, it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram. And it's like, okay, but there are already other podcasts in Arabic. I don't see why we have to speak Arabic.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, a lot of people relate language to identity and culture. And so I think when we speak in English, they think we're like turning our backs away from the culture, or that we're like diluting it, which is not the case, we. And that's the thing, like you said, like there are so many other podcasts that are out there in Arabic. Just because we're Arab girls, people think like, okay, you're Arab girls, you need to speak in Arabic. Or we got a comment, someone was like, oh, KTV2, like as a joke, that we're like, I don't know. It was just like so lame.
I mean, yeah, there just aren't that many podcasts by Arab girls in English. And I think there's space for everyone. I don't think speak Arabic is a comment that makes sense. It's like the racist comments in the US if you're speaking another language. You know, some people will scream and say, speak English. Like if you're speaking Spanish, if you're speaking
Mm,
Arabic, like a lot of times you hear ignorant people scream, speak English, this is America. To me, that's the same level. And that's scary that we're seeing that.
yeah. I mean, let's get into why people are triggered. I think, like I said, like people are triggered because they see two Arab girls and there's this fear that, oh, you're trying to dilute the culture or you're turning your back from the culture or that you're embarrassed that you're Arab. So you speaking in English to kind of like move away from the culture, which is everything that we're not doing. Because if anything, like I think the culture or our culture and our background is at the core of what we're trying to do.
I also think that realistically speaking, speaking another language does not make you any less Arab, you know? Like it's insanity to say that we are not as Arab as we could be because what we're speaking in English, like get real, it's 2024. Both of us speak more than two languages, so what? You know?
Yeah.
I don't
I
think it
think
makes us less Arab.
obviously it doesn't, but then you're talking about people. I mean, a lot of times, like people will project, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they feel left
Because
out.
it's the way, yeah, not just they feel left out because it's the way that they perceive their own identity, you know what I mean? So they start projecting. And then I also feel, yeah, there is a big part of them that feel left out. And then there are the other part who have inferiority complex where it's
Yeah.
like they immediately like because we had one comment where this girl I had to restrict it and hide it because it got really bad. But she was basically saying that I don't understand why Arabs feel the need to speak English
Oh yeah.
and that you guys are embarrassing yourselves for speaking in English. You're Arabs, you need to speak Arabic. And then it was a very like
Is that's the comment where
derogatory way.
she ends it by saying also foreigners look down on you?
Was that her? I don't know. But
It
basically
was, I think.
she was like basically that like why are you trying to lesbigon? What does that mean?
Uh, uh,
How do you say?
Stick yourself, like cling on.
Yeah, like cling on to other cultures. So I responded to her and I was like, honestly, your comment is embarrassing because it just shows that you lack self confidence because you are the one that's saying that, oh, you guys think you're better than us by speaking in English and you think that you're fancy speaking in English. But in reality, I never said that.
You
I
did.
never said that I'm better than you. You assumed that I feel like I'm better than you because I'm speaking in English. You know what I mean? So then, of course, I don't know if she gathered her friends and they all started attacking me and being like, "Oh, what does self confidence have to do with it? Oh, I didn't like the way you responded, and you know, you're actually showing your insecurities because of your response, and you should be open to criticism." There is a difference between constructive criticism and just being rude and derogatory and saying things like you're embarrassing and attacking someone. That is not criticism. And I do not have to put up with that. I just think we need to make that clear that we are open to criticism, we are open to feedback, but what we're not open to is
Abuse.
jabs at us and bullying. Like we are 100% not open for that and we will cut it, we will nip it at the bud. So her friends start responding and then I think I triggered her so much by that comment that she goes on my personal page because I made the comment from my personal account. She goes on my personal page and starts harassing me in every single like one of my posts and starts saying really rude and disgusting things and starts saying that basically my parents didn't raise me because of the way that I dress and the way that I'm presenting myself and that I'm not a good Muslim and blah 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 and whatever. And I'm just like honestly like reading those comments like if you're going to talk about whose parents raised them the right way or the wrong way, like my parents raised me to not put other people down. My parents raised me to not pass judgment on people based on a 10-second clip. My parents raised me not to go on someone's page and leave nasty comments like that. So, and I'm sorry, like you want to come and talk to me about the way I dress, like you are the Islamic police. Let's not forget Islam is also about morals and the way you speak to people. and I said what I said.
And that's on period.
And that's a period. But anyways, so yeah, so we've been getting a lot of those. And Mia knows, like, I've been calling her every day, and I'm just like, I'm choosing violence. Mercury was in retrograde. So I start responding to these comments because there's a moment where you're like, enough is enough. But I also understand where you're coming from. But I also felt like we needed to address it, that we are not speaking English because we think we're better than you. You know what I mean?
I mean, first of all, I think something that has to be said, as you know, like I do think we need to clarify why we speak English. First of all, maybe Zainab could carry the conversation in Arabic more so than I could, but there is no way that I can. And I have made that abundantly clear. Yes, I speak Arabic. I speak Arabic as a third language, though. It very much is not my first or my second, it is my third. So I cannot express my thoughts as perfectly as I could in Arabic as I do in English or French. And I think that would be a big disadvantage to sprinkles and spice if we weren't able to have this conversation. But also, Zainab, I know that Arabic is more so your second language as well.
Yeah. I mean, I learned to speak English before I learned to speak Arabic. And then I'm a lot better now. And I've said this before. I forced myself to improve my Arabic, but for the longest time it was intimidating for me, and I'm more comfortable expressing myself in English. I speak Arabic. I'm comfortable in carrying conversation with Arabic, but I have better vocabulary in English to express myself. And that's just how I learned to express myself. It's not something that I'm proud of. I don't think that it makes me better, but I'm really proud of my culture and where I come from. And I force myself every day to improve my Arabic skills, whether it was reading and speaking. And I'm not going to lie, like, it is intimidating. It's always been intimidating for me, but I'm trying. And so these comments don't make it easier. You know what I mean? It just like, it triggers that. And I think the comments triggered me was because it triggered memories of me growing up the way that I was, because I used to be more distanced than the culture that I am now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there should be space for everyone. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not the only Arab girl that grew up outside. A lot of my other friends, you know, in France, are Arab girls that grew up outside. I actually have half Arab friends who cannot speak Arabic. Their parents didn't teach them. My parents took the initiative to bring an actual teacher to teach me, to make sure I could read, to make sure I could write. And they've actually said to me, and that's the nicest thing to hear, but they've said to me that they love listening to the podcast, that it connects them to the culture, that it teaches them things. So I feel like we're opening up a door for people who are not Arab and Arabs who, you know, don't speak that much Arabic to connect to the culture, to learn more about Kuwait, about the Gulf, about the Middle East, about, you know, like just the culture of being Middle Eastern. So I do think we have to look at the positives. Yes, there are some people who maybe their English cannot help them to really fully understand the pod, but there's also people that don't even speak Arabic that are enjoying the pod. So those who speak Arabic can enjoy a pod in Arabic, because there's a lot of Arabic pods in Arabic. But like we keep saying, there aren't that many pods like us that do Middle Eastern based content in English. Or
And
like
I'm sorry, let's
Portuguese.
also, yeah, and let's also talk about representation.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we literally mentioned Saint Laurent at Coachella. He speaks Arabic, French, and English,
Yeah.
and he uses all of them. And that moment where he was on that Coachella stage sending our message as Arabs, I mean, as a Palestinian, I'm sure he feels more connected to that message. But there was no prouder moment than that. You know what I mean? As an Arab, to see that. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reach a wider audience, a more global audience, and show representation. Because when you speak a common language like English, like, why does this happen to me in the middle of me making a good point?
You were on something. You were on a roll. And then English.
English. Anyways, so English is the most common language. That's why we speak it, because because this is not just for Arabs. We're doing this for people who come from other ethical backgrounds like us, who are third culture kids, who did oh my God, who did grow up exposed to, Western culture, but don't come from a Western background. Like, their
Yeah.
parents are probably East Asian or African or Arab or whatever. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of us out there and we share a lot. We have a lot in common, like our family values and a lot of the struggles that we go through. So that's why we chose to speak in English, because we want to relate to a bigger audience and also represent, because we are actually very proud of our culture. But I think there is this idea that there is one way to be Arab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have to be that way. You cannot, there's no other way to be Arab.
Yeah, and I think, like we said, like being a podcast that speaks English, I don't think it diminishes our heritage or our culture in any way. But at the end of the day, this is not just about being Arabic or and speaking English. This is truly about the third culture kid experience. Like a lot of our conversations are conversations and feelings that other third culture kids have. And I think at the end of the day, you know, I've expressed this time and time again. I know you felt the same way in a lot of your life. We connect the most to third culture kids. If you
Yeah.
were ever in a place where you are ethnically, culturally not from that place and you grew up there, your experience of life, your view of life, your acceptance of others is incomparable to anyone else, because you
Yeah.
are an outsider. And then you go home and you're kind of still an outsider. And that's a
Yeah. I
pill
mean,
that you have to accept.
exactly. I mean, I did tell you where I realized something, because like these comments kind of like triggered memories of when I was growing up and how I felt towards the culture. And there was moments where I resented it because it hadn't accepted me. You know what I mean? And I remember I told you this thing where I was like, I didn't know I was different until I was made to feel different. And then it's like you're kind of trying to bully someone into submission and being like, you have to be like this, you have to be like this. And they try and you make fun of them all along while they're trying. And then when they're like, okay, you know what, this is too much. I don't want this anymore. And then you're like, oh, you're turning your back away from the culture. You're not Arab. You're embarrassed of being Arab. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. And there's no worse feeling, because it's like your own people make you feel like a reject in your own culture. Like, what?
Yeah. And then it's like now we're trying to do something, and then and it's so sad because it's always your own. And I think we see this in other cultures. It's always your own that attack you initially, because I think there is this fear that, oh, you're trying to be different than us. You're trying to drag us down, because I did notice that some of the comments we got from some of the reels was that, oh, you're speaking in English. I think it was the Diwania one where it was like, are you trying to show the West what happens in our Diwaniyas? You're trying to expose us to the West and na na na. And I don't understand this logic where it's like, and this is a very common theme here, where it's like, do not speak of what's going bad. It's kind of like, okay, imagine we're a family and we're a dysfunctional family and we know we're toxic to each other and we can talk about it amongst ourselves, but do not talk about it to anyone outside of your family.
Yeah, it's like
It's
what
kind of like
happens in
that, because then,
Vegas stays in Vegas type mentality. But it doesn't
yeah,
make
but
sense
it's like,
because
it doesn't make sense because nothing's going to improve. And it's not like we're trying to criticize. We're not just sitting here and trying to criticize. We want to, like, hopefully be a part of a change, or, you know, help people who are going through these things and are struggling with these things that are like affect your day to day. And we're trying to show them that, you know, hey, we're here. We're going through this with you. We're trying to figure it out all together. You know what I mean?
I feel like that was the first initial shock. I don't really think we're gonna get that shocked in the future with anything. I mean, I know I was a lot less triggered. That's because I don't understand the comments. Like a lot of the times, they'd be in Arabic, and I was like, I don't know what this means. And then when we try to translate, Instagram doesn't translate Kuwaiti.
No, Instagram translation is horrible. Yeah, I mean, also I think it's because I like I said, like it did trigger memories or things that I've been through when I was growing up. You know, because I my first language was English, and so when I did speak Arabic, my Arabic was all over the place and it was embarrassing, and I didn't even know how to read right. Like I told you, when I got married, my ex-husband one time told me to read the newspaper out loud, and I was struggling, and then he starts laughing at me.
Horrible.
And, you know, like some people will, you know, laugh it off and are okay with it, you know, and they take it as like a, you know, a learning or part of the learning process. I think people like us, like you and I, are quite sensitive. And so sensitive people, like they don't take it like that.
No.
For us, it's something that we're like, okay, this is a trigger. So if you know something is a trigger, what do? You avoid it. And
Yeah.
that's why I meet a lot of people here who have been to English schools. Maybe they haven't lived abroad, they weren't born abroad, but they went to English schools, and they have that sentiment where it's like, I don't listen to Arabic music. I don't understand that. I don't read Arabic. I don't consume Arabic content. You know what I mean? And I used to be that because it was so intimidating. But then I was like, no, I love my culture. I'm so proud of where I'm from, and I want to connect more to it. And now I think because I've worked on myself more, I'm able to try to connect with it without taking it personally when people, make jokes. Obviously, I would say, teach me rather than laugh at me. And that's something that I've also told our friends when it comes to you when you were
Yeah.
trying to speak Arabic or Kuwaiti specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, because
And
I have
it,
I have noticed, like, in that regard, an incident happened before I'd left where I said something in Kuwaiti and like, I could tell everyone's left, and then someone said, "Actually, this is how you say it," and I knew that you had told them, "Hey," because another incident happened in the past where you're like, "Guys, stop laughing," because me is never gonna learn Kuwaiti like that, like. And so they actually took that as a moment, and everyone said, "Oh, this is how you pronounce," and they were so nice. And I can't tell you how much that stayed with me. Like, it made me feel so secure and safe. And that's what people don't understand. When you don't speak a language or a dialect, it's a huge part of the culture that you don't have access to. So you feel left out of your own culture. And I'm not even, full Kuwaiti, but
yeah,
feeling that left out of my culture, it's difficult. So when people take the time and actually tell me something rather than make a joke out of it, because it's not funny anymore. Sometimes if I'm laughing,
yeah,
sure, it's funny, but most of it's not funny. It's embarrassing. I'm not proud of it. I'm not like, look at me, I'm so interesting. I don't speak proper Arabic. No. So when someone can actually teach you rather than make fun of you, I think it goes a long way, and it's something that you remain thankful for. Like, I'm still so happy. I'll never forget that moment. I won't,
yeah,
because I felt secure for
yeah.
the first
Because
time.
yeah, and then it becomes less intimidating, and
Yeah,
you start to have that like you start to crave learning more about the culture and connecting more to it. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm glad that I forced myself to do that. And I think I did that like around university or right after university, because like when I was in university, I told you like a lot of my friends were girls who didn't speak English and they didn't go to private schools. So I try to approach all my friendships without judgment. So you would love for that same sentiment to be reciprocated. You know what I mean? For people not to judge you for not knowing, because I can carry a conversation in Arabic, but then sometimes I will like I'll try as much as I can to stay like speaking in Arabic, but then I have to speak in English because I just don't have the words, or it's easier, or you'll see me stuttering and struggling. So I wish it wasn't that way. I wish I was so proficient in both equally and was able to express myself in both. But you know, I'm trying here. That's not how, the cookie crumbled, unfortunately. And at the end of the day, like the reason why we chose to speak English on this podcast is not because we're, trying to push ourselves from the culture. Actually, we're trying to represent the culture
yeah, to the world.
to the world.
And that's why we call it sprinkles and spice. Sprinkles because we're westernized. So sprinkles are something that come from the West. And spice because we're Middle Eastern. We have that spice to us. So it's sprinkles and spice.
Spicy. Yeah.
Spicy. Okay. You wanted to read out a comment that we got
Yes.
on one
So
of our latest clips from our last episode.
yeah, so just to kind of wrap up this conversation, I think this comment really did start a conversation on the reel. We had a reel of Ali talking about, if you're trying to be influential, you have to be different and all of that, and then how being different, the price of being different in Kuwait is very high. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And so the comment we had. Do you want to read the comment?
No, because the you read the comics. I'm
Oh,
holding the yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right. All right. And so the comment that we got on this specific video said, she said, then leave Kuwait. question mark, because you're paying a price that you think is too high for being essentially basic. Some people think that because they're different, they stand out, but doesn't that make you same as everybody who also thinks they're different? Kind of an oxymoron to think you're a special outlier when you're literally just the same as everybody who think just the way you do. LOL, it's narcissistic and egotistic to think that you are the chosen one when the public sphere you interact with on the daily are just like you. You stand out by being a standout person, a person with morals, mercy, values, convictions, not by dressing different or looking different, since these are the points that were emphasized and mentioned. Just playing devil's advocate and putting my 2 cents in to stir a conversation and give a new perspective. Also, I'm a Sag. I don't give a fuck at the end of the day. It's not that deep. Let's put our critical thinking caps on. What do y'all think? And so I wanted to respond because actually she's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
I wanted to actually type up a response. But then I was like, actually, I'll save it for the pod. But I think, why don't you give it a go? I want to hear your thoughts on this. I don't remember if you expressed much
No, because
about
we
this
both
comment.
we both talked about how it was a good comment, and then we both decided let's leave it for the episode. So look, obviously, this whole thing of like looking different, dressing different, like in this day and age, it's sensitive. You know, people, we all sort of buy from the same spots, trends, TikTok, all influences us. So even when we dress different, quote unquote, are we really that different? I don't think so. Like, I think really being different is going complete out of the grain, doing something crazy. That's only because it's 2024, you know? When you are talking about a homogenous society, though, like Kuwait, honestly, if you walk around with purple hair or pink hair or honestly bleach blonde hair, you are different. If you are a man, and in Ali's case, he had bleach blonde hair when he came on the pod, that is different. The way he dresses is not conventional, and as we've mentioned, we know that if we wear a bright color, we're gonna get called, "Oh my God, girl with that color," because again, Kuwait is so tiny and it's very homogenous. So in that regard, I don't fully agree. I think, in his defense, he does dress differently. In terms of thinking differently, in terms of leaving the country because you think differently, well, that's not a solution. Not everyone can afford to just get up and leave. And why leave? He is Kuwaiti. That's his country.
What if I don't want to
Leave
leave?
to go
I
where?
want to.
Leave to
Exactly.
go where?
That's the thing that I don't like where people immediately are like, then leave. But it's like, as a Kuwaiti, I want to stay here because my family's
It's your
here. Like
home.
ideally, obviously, it's my home. You know what I mean? But why can I live in my home and be accepted? And that's the thing that we're trying to do is acceptance. And how are we going to get diversity if we do not encourage people to dress differently? How are we going to encourage creativity if we're going to judge anyone that dresses differently or dares to be bold or dares to try something without being called cringe? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm so over that. Like, let people try, even if they're intentionally doing it to be different. Let us experiment. You know what I mean? Like, let there be room for people to experiment. And it's very, the parameters of that are very tight in Kuwait because of the fear. And I think it, comments like this create this fear where it's like, okay, then leave. If you think the price is too high, then maybe you should leave. You know what I mean? No, I don't think leaving is the only solution. I think we should look into acceptance and not judging each other.
I think the comment "live and let live" rings very true here. I think there has to
Yeah.
come a time, and I do think that like the Gen Z and like even younger are doing it. Like there does have to come a time where we have to just accept that not everyone is like us, and that's okay. And I think as someone who is half Kuwaiti, I sort of haven't gotten it as bad as someone that's full Kuwaiti because people are just like, oh, but you're half and you lived outside. Like, it's, I get a leeway, but that I see a lot of my friends not getting. And even I feel that unfairness for them, where it's not fair for you to accept someone being different because they're not fully from your culture.
Not just that, I think in order for the tradition, the culture, the heritage to thrive, we have to kind
Adapt.
of adapt and evolve. Like you said, like you cannot keep doing the same things over. Like, for example, when you say culture and tradition, yeah, but you were living in tents, you're riding camels, you're not doing that anymore. You
Yeah.
have your phones are not traditional. Like our smartphones are not Arab,
No, you want to live in tradition?
not Arab.
Stop using the AC then.
Yeah, I'm sorry. One thing that if people want to argue tradition, we have veered off in the way that we build our homes. We had the most beautiful architectural style homes, and they were actually made in a way to adapt to our climate, and we moved away from that. Now all we have is huge ass, ugly ass, 3, 4 story blocks of just fucking cement with tiny ass windows. It's like a fucking prison. Like nobody wants to be seen. You can even see it in their homes because people just don't want to be judged because they want to have that freedom to judge everyone freely. So they know that, they're going to be caught with the same. So it's like we hide, we judge from our hiding spaces. You know what I mean?
And I think just to
But
end it, I think it takes, I mean, and my thoughts on it at least, I think it takes a lot of bravery to be open to showing people who you are and expressing yourself. And whether it be in fashion or on a podcast or on Instagram or like in whatever way you wish to express, it's very easy to sit there behind a screen without a profile picture with a fake name and say, oh, you're cringe, you're this, you're that. But putting yourself out there and being vulnerable is something that is incredibly difficult. And I'm proud that
it
I'm
is.
doing this. And I know you are too.
I'm proud of us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm really proud of us, and you're right. Like it is easy for you to look at us, and actually, like, I know deep down inside a lot of these people who are writing hate, they probably wish they were able to, put themselves out there, because
Yeah.
we know that not a lot of people here have the courage or the boldness to put themselves out there and do what we're doing. So if you see us and you think, oh, cringe, I can 100% guarantee that you are probably dying to do your own podcast or you just learned the word cringe. I'm pretty sure it's one of the two. Or, you know what? If you don't like it, I'm not saying you have to like us, but just do what everyone else does. Keep it moving. Don't
Leave.
leave a comment. Leave. Why do you go out of your way to put people down who are trying to do something? And that's what I have a problem with, is like a lot of people, they wouldn't have the courage, A, to tell you these things in person. They'd probably come up to you and be like, oh, we're a fan.
Yeah.
B, they're so triggered because it makes them feel like they are incompetent or that they're less than. And instead of being happy and being like, oh, this is something that I could do. Oh, this actually motivates me. This pushes me. They're like, oh, let's bash our own. Let's put down our own. You know what I mean? But going back to the comment where she said, oh, you're intentionally trying to be different. Like, while I do agree that some people, yes, intentionally do try to be different. But you know what? Like, there's this quote that I came up with years ago,
I
and I
invented
write
it.
it everywhere. I invented it. No, because I think it was around the time where I discovered the word nonconformity. Because, when we were younger, like everybody was like, I'm such a nonconformist. Like, you know what I mean? It was like the woke of our era.
I do not remember people. I don't think people in my circle were saying the word nonconformist.
You were too young for it. But anyway, so I remember when I was thinking about that, and I'm like, even people who try to, and this was me at a young age thinking about this, where I was like, even people who try to non-conform are conforming to non-conformity. Like, you know what I mean? Because you're intentionally trying to be like anarchy. Yeah. Like it is also some sort of like cliche. So I
You were
remember
an
I
11-year-old
had,
thinker. You were 11.
no, I
I'm
wasn't
a
11.
thinker.
I'm a thinker. I'm a
Anthropologist.
Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius. Um, just like our commenter, she's Sagittarius, doesn't give a fuck. But anyways, I there was this quote that I used to write everywhere, and I kind of came up with that. And I would say life's cliches are inevitable, no matter how hard you try to deviate. Like literally, like everybody's a cliche. We're all cliches of something.
Yeah.
So just, yeah, I agree. Like some people do try to be intentionally different. Some people are just different. You know what I mean? And even if people are trying to be different, they're trying to express their individuality. Why are you so mad? You know what I mean? Just let
Who
people be.
cares? Who
Who
cares?
cares? Who cares? But I just think, to me, it's insane to be like, oh, then you should leave if you're different and you're just trying to be different. Yes, well, I agree with her. People should focus on having good morals, like a good moral compass, being good,
But
like having good
they're
ethics,
not
whatever,
related.
blah, blah, blah.
They're not really related to me though. Like looking
They're
different,
not.
having like I just don't see. I didn't see the
It's
connection
kind of
there.
like,
I
me
appreciate the thought
neither.
though. I appreciate the
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like the same as like when people see us and the way that we speak or the way that we dress, and they immediately assume that we're loose or immoral or whatever, and
Mm.
that like nothing frustrates me more. Anyways, I think we need to wrap this episode up.
We are only an hour over.
We're only 40 minutes over our allocated time.
An hour. We said this was a 50-minute long. I love us. We can't get enough
Guys,
speaking.
it's a catch up episode, Mia. I
Yeah.
haven't seen you in a month, okay? We haven't done this. I haven't had a mic in front of me in like 2 months, okay?
Is this the longest we've been since we became friends without seeing each other? I think it is.
No, no. I
Have we
think
done this before?
we've been through longer distance. Yeah.
No, we're long
I
distance
can't
besties.
live if living
Living
is
is without
without
you.
you.
Wow. We can't.
Yeah.
We have to sing in every episode. We're trying to get a
Every
record deal,
episode.
actually.
Oh, anyways, I'm gonna call you after we're done
Oh
recording
yeah, yeah.
because
We're
we're not
hanging
done
up.
talking.
We're saying bye, and then we're gonna be on the phone. So as
All right.
usual, if you like this episode, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, send to your haters.
Haters are gonna hate.
I
Haters
love
are
the
gonna
way
ain't.
it feels to be a
A
hater.
hater. Okay.
All right, okay, enough.
All right. Well, listen to Mia, what she said. And if you don't leave a 5-star review,
Don't leave a review at all. We don't want it. I don't want 4 star. 4 stars for what? What are you gonna leave 1 star out for? Anyways, have a great day.
us, we are open to constructive criticism. Also, us, don't you dare leave anything less than 5 stars.
We said what we said.
We said what we said. Anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will catch you next Wednesday. Mia is probably going to be in a different setup. I don't know. Maybe she's going to have different bed sheets.
Maybe I'll be in my
she's going to
mom's
go to the
room.
living room.
Bye.
All right, you guys, take care. Bye.